go back home. Um, then I can click on About Us while I'm at home if I feel I don't want to see what is in the home pages. Like, for example, I've added the Colibri for you to access. It can take me there, and you are able to see my channels, the home library. Like, you can see this is my chemistry lesson 9, the financial management, which I imported from one of the colleagues. I hope he's already online. Then chemistry topic 8, which also added the scheme of work, which I'm still working on. So, of course, once you want to check it properly, you go on the pop out and you are able to see it. But I'm still working on that. I've not yet reached the final product. Then I've also added there the lesson plan, chemistry lesson plan for senior 1, first term 2026, week 2, a double period, and actually there are 2 lessons which I added there under the resource center. And so you can see that I've made some retro progress. Then when you go to update, which of course you know that it takes you to previously, let me first cancel that. If I go to updates, previously the link I had put there was not working, but I put a better link. So it takes you to my blog of Javira Kakuru, but the username I'm using is literally. So I've put using artificial intelligence to plan schemes of work and lesson plans, which I created today. Anyway, don't mind about the photo. I intended to put that photo there. It's a funny one, but once you want to read about more, that's what I've written in regards to the assignment for yesterday. That's what I've put there so far. And this is the assignment. So this assignment is for yesterday, where we needed to talk about using of the AI to plan schemes of work and lesson plans. And I've put also this one, which was for the other day, about the digital pedagogy. Then, lastly but not least, when you go to the resource, of course, I've put 2 areas. I only talked about the Colibri offline learning. Then I have also put the Eon XR library 360D simulations. So when you click on it, it redirects you to another page whereby there are so many other simulations from aerospace. Shift now from that recap. Want to shift now to today's session. Of course, I will still begin by welcoming everyone. Thank you so much for choosing to connect again to learn something this afternoon. So this is, I still remind you, this is phase 2 of the digital pedagogy training program that was that is ably conducted by the EDTECH Teachers Network in partnership with UNICEF and the Airtel Uganda. So we have been moving very well right from the beginning of this week. Day number 1, you remember, we looked at a recap of phase 1, and then also we tried to learn more about offline learning with the help of Colibri. Then day number 2, we looked at creating educator sites with the help of tools like online tools like Blogger and the Google Sites.
and then also WordPress. Day number 3 was yesterday. Why am I saying day number 3 was yesterday? The Wednesday session was an extra session proudly organized by the EDTECH Teachers Network, and that is the EDTECH Exchange, our weekly session that we always organize as EDTECH Teachers Network, where we dive into different topics pertaining education technology. So that one was a bonus session, and come next week on Wednesday, we shall have another session. Today, I want to welcome you once again, and thank you so much for making time to join today's session. And sincerely speaking, your commitment continues to shape stronger, smarter, and more relevant classroom practice across all our schools that we are about to open. I remain George Emorut, who has been also presented with another privilege to moderate today's session. On behalf of EDTECH Teachers Network, of course, as I said earlier on, with support from UNICEF and Airtel Uganda. Members, I warmly welcome you to this yet another very important session where we are going to be focusing on innovative EdTech use through club projects and cross-subject integration. Gone are the days when we used to think that it is only ICT teachers who should use technology. Where we are heading towards, the truth is, even these other subjects require ICT to be integrated in them if the lessons are to be interactive and very impactful to our learners. So far, we have looked at those other things that we have covered during the course of 3 days, and this is yet another great opportunity for us to learn what we call project-based learning, of course, where technology supports creativity, teamwork, and then also real problem solving. Members, during today's session, I still remind you of the rules which are going to guide our session. We're going to make sure our mics are muted to avoid interfering the flow of the session when the presenters are facilitating. In case you have something you want to share, please use the reaction button whereby you can raise your hand up, and then the facilitator who will be presenting or the moderator will give you a chance to be able to share. And then our chat, as usual, will remain open, such that in case you have a burning question or you have something that you require to share, you can ably type it right there, and then the facilitators, we have very many facilitators on call. I can see very many of them. They are available. I recognize Madame Julian, Madame Happy Immaculate, and all others. So all those facilitators, they are very available and they are ready to respond to your concerns or any issue which is disturbing you. So members, to take us through today's session, which is going to be innovative EdTech use through club projects and cross-subject integration, where we hope to look at tools for project work involving creating applications, the mobile applications, robotics, websites, and then multimedia in STEAM. Of course, when we talk about STEAM, you all very well know that is science, technology, engineering, and then arts, and then mathematics. So for us, we are EduTech Teachers Network, and we try our level best to work with subjects, with subject teachers from all areas, whether you are science teachers or you are arts teachers. All in all, what we believe, all subject teachers, all educators require the education technology skills if at all they are to be in position to deliver very impactful and 21st century lessons to the learners. So that's why we cater for all subject teachers and all subject educators. So members, to take us forward during today's session, we have our lead facilitators. We are going to begin with Madam Nakayinda Hanifa, who is also a seasoned education practitioner who has been in the field for some time. She has experience working with students, working with educators, with organizations, and also working with schools through handling different projects, handling different project activities, and also, above all, she's also a very experienced personnel when it comes to issues connected to the new curriculum that the NCDC and the Ministry of Education and Sports put across of recent in Uganda. So members, I want you to join me and we welcome Madam Nakayinda to take us forward. And then later on, we shall have another facilitator to also take us forward. So members, join me and we welcome our lead facilitator of the day, Madam Hanifa. Over to you.
Mr. Emerald.
The platform is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emerald, for welcoming me to this call. Thank you for that brief introduction. Let me introduce myself once again. I'm Nakayinda Hanifa, a teacher who has been here for quite some time, a teacher who has interacted with several learners across different boards, a teacher who has shared experiences through reflection with teachers at different boards and different forums, a teacher who has worked through different agendas to see that I enrich myself, but also enrich others. The agendas, for example, enable, which is so much into the teaching and learning environment, by saying to it that teachers work well by including ICT in their everyday life. I've worked with Star Education, which is a policy program that sees that teachers are grounded so well on the objectives of the new curriculum by creating safe environments. I've worked so well with SESEMAT, which was originally for only science teachers, but because of the new curriculum, we are bringing on board the teachers of arts and humanities. I'm a regional trainer for SESEMAT for Busoga region, which takes about 5 districts, but also a regional trainer for STAR, which takes about 11 districts in Busoga. I've been able to work with apps too under projects work. And I think for today's sharing, I'm going to learn more from you while we upgrade ourselves on how we can really integrate innovative EdTech tools into projects based on clubs where we're going to see an integration of different subjects, like Mr. Emrut has said. Our role today, when we set into this session, we find that there are very many things that people who are on the call are looking out for. They are really eager to see what we are unpacking. And therefore, we're going to remind ourselves, we shall keep refreshing ourselves, like Mr. Emrut has said, that day 1, day 2, and day 3, we looked at things that are going to remind us of very many tools, which we are going to add on 2 apps, so that we can be able to create educative sites that we can always reflect on and be able to embed into club projects. Members, you'll agree with me that the new curriculum is looking at skilling learners so that they become job creators rather than job seekers. And how are we achieving this as curriculum implementers? It is through helping learners go through project work, and then they be able to be job creators. Now, projects work, you'll remember that at the end of that day, there is no project that you can do using a single piece of knowledge. Knowledge can be sought from the classrooms where we sit. Knowledge can be got from the environment through the lived experiences. And therefore, the reason why the curriculum is saying that let us move out of the 4 walls and make these learners explore through projects work. So today as EdTech, here we are. We would like to share to see how we can embed tools, apps, so that we can embed them into projects work. We are still doing this under STEAM. We have said that STEAM is science, technology, engineering, arts and humanities, and mathematics that are going to act as vehicles that are going to help us innovate by using an integration of all the knowledge that we have sought from our environment. We shall find that we're going to be able to use apps to do robotics, to create websites, to use multimedia. And when we use all those, we shall find that we are going to create solutions which are problem solving into our societies where we live and where the learners be, since we are teachers who are in the education sector. And therefore, today, very fast, we look at this project work and club activities. Members, you'll appreciate that for all the activities that we do at school, outside the four walls of the classroom, they are all activities. And if we are to do them very well, then we have to ground ourselves into clubs. That's why at school we find that there is the mathematics club, there is the patriotism club, there is Interact Club, there is the bank club. But when you go at the depth of it all, you'll find that they will never go a long way if at all they don't embrace ICT. This ICT has come to stay as a subject, but also to be as something that is going to help us move smoothly. And therefore, when you talk about inclusion of ICT and integration, we are not saying that now we are going to only to be ICT teachers. And I want to think that on the call, we are not only teachers of ICT, but rather teachers of the nation. And that's where we come in. And that's where clubs come in. And when we integrate this ICT into our club activities, then we shall be able to model and guide the learning very well, grounded in the new curriculum foundations. Now, when we look back at home, which clubs are really active in your school? I know there are very many active clubs, some of which I've mentioned, but there are those ones which you really see that are very active in your school, where you can see that you may need support of EdTech integration as we move forward project work and activities. You are free to put up your hand and unmute, introduce yourself, and share a little in a minute or two about the kind of clubs that are active in your school and how do they work, what kind of activities do, and what do you see exactly taking place. This is the time for all of you who are on the call. Please feel free to unmute and then give us your sharing. Yes, hello. Hello, somebody on the call?
Yeah, yes, madam.
Yes.
Maybe, yes, madam Nakaenda.
Yes,
maybe
Mr.
what
Yes.
we can do, somebody can put the hand up.
Yes, someone put up your hand, please, and be
I
given
was
a chance
like,
to share. Someone put up your hand and share with
madam,
us.
can you reshare your screen?
Yes, it's there. Here I am sharing. Are we able to see it?
Yes,
hello, someone
I can
there?
see your screen.
We
Maybe
have
put it
someone
on
sharing.
Okay, it is okay now.
Javira, you were giving us a very good experience before we broke into this very session. Can you please maybe tell us about the clubs in your schools, since people are quiet? Javira, are you there?
Thank you so much, Madam Nakawinda.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm always there, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we have several clubs in the school. We have the notorious one, which is the Green School Club, in the Green Innovation Club, which is apparently dealing with the help of integration of ICT on how to do the recycling of HDP, that's high density plastics, and the low density plastics, LDP. And it is majorly integrating both ICT and other tools to come up with the final products. Then, of course, we have other clubs, like we have the Environmental Club, we have the Young Farmers Club. The Young Farmers Club are doing an integration of ICT in regards to hydroponics and so on. So, yes, the integration of ICT is really making some changes. And in regards to the new curriculum, the project work, in the next 5 years, to me, it's when we shall see the real results, because when these runners move away from schools, they go back to their villages, they don't have access to the resources that could enable them keep the integration even at a village level. So we have several clubs, and the upcoming club is the ICT club, which we are launching within this term. And we hope to see what is it going to be able to add to other clubs and itself that is unique from what they have been doing, and how will it transform the school and so on. So basically, that's what I can say about that, the integration of the clubs. But apparently, what is working out perfectly well is the Green School Innovation Club, which has done massively very well with the help of integration of ICT. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was a sharing, a very beautiful sharing from Mr. Javira. And indeed, you've heard that where they are going clubbing, not the other one of going to dance. But I'm saying that they are saying that the only way to go is to cluster learners into clubs so that they can discover their different talents and skills. He has told us about the high density plastic project. Members, you'll appreciate that to go deep into project work, you can never do it without research. And of late, with the coming of ICT, we are seeing that we are getting grounded through using ICT for research rather than going or to add on to the books that we read from our libraries. Research can be done just using simple tools that like your phone, because our phones are enabled, the smartphones are enabled with tools that can help us to go and research. They're embedded with very rich search engines. So really, when we go into the aspect of researching and using ICT to enhance our project's work, I think it's no longer a problem. However, he's talking about this big animal called project work. Yes, to some people, it's still a mystery. To some people, they still fear it. I have to tell you and assure you that indeed it's a very big animal. It's a very big elephant. An elephant is very huge. If you are given to eat it, you cannot eat it at once. But if you have to enjoy it, you have to eat it in piecemeals. And therefore, this is where we come out as UNICEF, we come out as Airtel, we come out as ETN, we come out as different organizations to see that we support the teachers and the learners, we support schools, so that we can be able to eat this big elephant called project work into piecemeals. He has talked about the ICT club, that it is just beginning to take root. And indeed, that brings out an aspect that indeed ICT is still being feared in schools. But I have to lay your fears that through agendas like this one today, where we come together on our call and discuss issues and reflect on how we do things back at home, things are going to be easy. And that's how we shall eat our elephant into piecemeals. Thank you very much, Javira, for sharing. Is there anyone who can share again in a minute or two? So that we can learn from a variety, we can hear experiences from different people.
I can see Mr. Francis Etiang, his hand is up.
Oh, Francis Etiang, you're most welcome to the call.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madam Hanifa and George, for spearheading this session. I would like to share my experience. I come from Jinja City. I Formerly, I've been working at
Have we lost you, Francis?
Road Primary School, but I will be a new teacher at school. Like last year, we had a poultry project as primary 5 class. And in this primary 5 class, I mean, in the project, we reared some poultry, most especially we had chicken. And we also used the technology to see how other farmers practice. And the children learned a lot of stuff like how do we vaccinate the chicks? And where did we learn this from? We didn't bring the doctor at school. We only used technology. We went to YouTube and looked at different farmers and how they do the vaccination. We looked at how to manage some poultry routine activities like how when the poultry are sick, what do we do with them? So the children learned about culling, separating the sick ones from the healthy ones. And the children loved really exploring this on their own. And the idea behind our poultry project is that even during holidays, children are able to buy at least chicken at home, and they're able to rear that chicken. After some time, they would benefit as a way of practicing self-reliance. If I need a book, I don't need to go to my dad. I can only sell my chicken from those that produced. So technology has been very helpful to my primary 5 children. We also have a club that was introduced by one of the, I think, a passionate member of EDTECH, that's Chole Richard. Maybe some of you are familiar with him. He's a teacher of PMM girls, Ginger. But it rolled out to poetry writing in primary. And my school was one of the beneficiaries from Chole Richard. And when introduced this to the children, we integrated it into technology. And the children used to use technology by getting some articles for poetry, and they read and they started practicing writing their own articles. So my primary 5 children really employed this so much. I am really going to miss them a lot, but I know where I'm going still, we are going to do the same exact thing. So project work using technology is really very nice, and there's a lot of creativity that comes in. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much for this beautiful session.
Wow. I'm so excited, Mr. Francis from Ginger City, where I hail. So my friend, we are here together joining onto this call. I'm so excited that he's coming from the primary space. And I'm glad to hear that even in the primary space, people have embraced project work, which is enhancing the students' learning in a variety of things that they do to enhance their learning. And I'm thanking him that he's doing a great job to prepare this Ugandan child who is coming in the new curriculum of secondary space where we are right now, where project work is one of the aspects that is a full paper that is examinable at UNEB. So when learners come from the primary space, when they already have these skills, I think when they come to secondary, it will just be a brush off, and therefore they'll be made better. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, members, they think project work. Everyone has heard about project work. Whenever we wake up and say, oh, do a project, in most cases, you find some of us, the teachers, we just think that it is learner-based kind of learning. And so we just tell the learners, please go out there, think about a project that you can do, come back and present your findings. In that case, we find that we are not helping our learners so much. We must, first of all, ourselves be grounded, understand what this thing called project work is, and there we shall be very good facilitators of project work. Project work is something which cannot be done in 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days. It's a long-term process that can go into several months, or even a space of 2 years. In the secondary space, project work is started right from senior 1, and it's harnessed by having a product or a solution at senior 4 first term. That's when we shall know that our children have gone into the process of project work. And so that space of senior 1 to senior 4, we shall find that there are a number of activities that we do. We cannot just wake up and talk about it and finish it in that day. We must respect the process of project work that we go through. And therefore, these will be stages or phases that we shall always embrace, whether we are in the primary space or in the secondary space or in the tertiary space. We shall appreciate that there is always need for planning. And at this planning, what is involved in this planning? This is where learners conceptualize and organize their projects by doing what? By first of all, navigating the environment, going where they learn from at school. Maybe they go where they stay at home. Maybe they go where their parents go for work, maybe in a marketplace or a kafunda on a roadside. And they try to learn the environment there and see which problems are in that environment. And therefore, based on those problems and the availability of the resources within the environment, which are low cost, that they can bank on to use to make solutions that are going to help to solve the problems within those communities. So planning involves such a critical step of navigating the environment, locating whether there are things that they can gather and use in form of resources so that they can use them to support them to make their solutions. We are saying that these solutions are integrative. They use a variety of knowledge from all the subjects across board, and that's why we are talking about STEAM. And in STEAM, therefore, we shall not avoid ICT, because much as you may need the local materials, but you're going to also to research and be grounded in the kind of project work that you're going to do. So planning is very, very critical. They will have to look at the stakeholders that they are going to work with. A project can never be done in unison, like you cannot do it as an individual. You have to visit experts, you have to inquire from the locals, you have to inquire from those ones who are working together with you in the same class or in the same group. So you find that all this has to take place during the planning session. Then after that, when you have gathered all that you want and you have already known what you're going to do and you have chosen the project name and you have looked at the resources, now you come to the stage of implementation, where now the resources you looked at, the stakeholders that you thought of, you're going to bring them together, see how you can now blend them, start executing your project so that you can come up with your product. Members, when we talk about our product, it's not only something that is tangible, but it can also be a service. I can do my product, which is going to be a solution, or which is going to be something that is going to offer service that will, at the end of the day, solve a problem that is in a certain area. Like now we are talking about AIs, which we are using for scheming, we are using for lesson planning, we are using for communication, for governance, to help us lay out our work so that we can be able to be good administrators and governors. So you find that an AI has been created using ICT, so it may not be something which is solid like a table that I'm going to hold, but rather a service that is going to help me do something. Then when we have really sat down with the resources and the stakeholders and all the necessary things, then we go into the project reporting stage. This is where we're going to compile all our findings, to explain how we came up with our product, to explain the process that we went through, all the stages that we went through to see that we have that tangible product. So that someone who comes to know about our product can be able to read our history, can be able to read our findings, and if maybe they're interested, they can also take on such a venture. Or it can be like the stepping stone for them to make a future prospect of that product made and perhaps make it better, or maybe even use it as a resource to do as other projects. So that's why project reporting is very, very necessary and it's a critical step. When we are done with project reporting, then finally we go to disseminate, we go to showcase, we go to exhibit the works that we have done to the communities where we are, for people to see how the solutions work, for people to appreciate and give us knowledge, give us more knowledge about how maybe we can make them better, or even now, our plan to use to solve those problems for the reasons why we have made them. And so that's why dissemination is very, very important. There is no reason why you're going to make a product that you're going to keep undercover without unveiling it to the people. If then, why will you have done it? If you feel that it is really good enough to help people, so it is very important to do the dissemination. So those are the 4 stages that we shall walk through as we plan to go through project work in our clubs, in our schools, and even in our communities where we stay at home. However, when we are looking at this, we shall not leave behind cross-cutting issues. We must be well aware of the environments where we operate from. We must be aware of how such a processes will affect us, yet that's not what we want. So we must know how to protect ourselves as we go through that process. We must know how to involve people of different abilities, the young, the old. In our growth curve, sometimes we see that at certain stages we have more energy to do certain things than at other stages. So that's why we want to bring on board a variety of people. We want to be gender inclusive, the men and women contributing towards solving problems in their society. Like, for example, people in the primary space, they can still involve us in the secondary space. And being at secondary doesn't mean that I cannot consult a learner at primary level. So it needs a lot of involvement. We need to look at the socioeconomic issues. We are not going to look at creating products which are going to be so expensive that at the end of that day, we shall end up being stressed because we cannot manage them socially or economically. We have to be patriotic, and we must produce products that are going to take our country and the world at large to the next level. And in that, we shall not always forget the generic skills, but also the subject-specific skills. When I talk about the subject-specific skills, I'm talking about the math, the ICT, the physics, the history, the geography, the CRE, all brought together to mold our product. The generic skills that we are going to look at, we shall be able to see that in these communities where we are working from, with these peers, with these stakeholders, we are able to think about well our solutions. We have to communicate very well. We have to use ICT proficiency as we explore. Maybe at this time, I'd like to ask someone to help us try to raise a hand and try to tell us a little bit more, a minute or two, to explain more about some of these stages and what exactly we are supposed to do. What have you done back at your school in those clubs? How have you looked at these stages in a bid to come up with a project and a certain club in your school? This is the time. People, put up your hands and be picked on to share. It is through sharing that we are going to learn more. We are waiting.
Madam Hanifa.
Yes, dear.
I can also I can also report to you from the chat section of our session. I can see some members have shared feedback there. I can see Madam Scovia said they have several clubs at their center, and they do some projects, but have integrated ICT, so they expect to learn much from today's session. And then Senior Emmanuel Angoda from Lira Town College, Lira City, also says they have the ICT club, which helps students to do ICT projects. And then other clubs that they have also at their school include Educate. They have Educate Club. They have the Acrobatics Club, Scouts and Patriotism. Then Young Christian Students. Then Scripture Union, Rotaract Club, Writers Club. Then Patriotism and Scouts Club, and many more. Then Debate and Public Speaking Club. That is what members have shared on the chat.
Wow, I think that summarizes it all. Members, you've heard that indeed there are a variety of clubs. I'm interested in the public speaking club. Can you imagine? It's not one of the subjects that we sit and teach in our classes, but they have evolved themselves into modeling themselves. And in that, you'll not find them missing to use the ICT tool so that they can really engage themselves, despite them not being ICT teachers. That blend brings a beautiful life at the end of the day, where we're going to create a Ugandan child. And therefore, what exactly are we meaning by a STEAM club? STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts and humanities, and other vocational subjects, and then mathematics clubs are blend. Those are just a kind of a club where we can sit and group learners. And we may not actually call it a STEAM club, but we can still go ahead and give them those other names, the debate club, the math club, the patriotism club, and so on and so forth. It's all about saying that we bring learners together so that they can have a hands-on, they can engage themselves with teachers, driving behind them as facilitators, helping them as administrators, as program leads, to see that they come out with their aim and goals being achieved. So when we gather resources under STEAM, where we get a variety of knowledge all put together, then we shall know that we're going to make very, very useful products that are going to help us in the 21st century. The 21st century it is so tasking that if you are not creative, if you cannot think critically, if you cannot collaborate, then it will be difficult for you to solve a problem. You remember that you cannot eat that animal alone, the elephant, the project work. Even if it wasn't for project's work, but if in any other thing of life, the moment you choose to do it alone, you will do it for a long time. The moment you decide to peer up, then you will do it for a short time, or even you will be able to get more resources. And in that, we embrace peer learning, and that's why we're advocating for STEAM clubs. We find that under STEAM, because it is a collection of very many subjects, then we shall be able to integrate a variety of resources from the different subjects. For example, someone can embrace storytelling, whereby you're going to use multimedia, you're going to use mics, you're going to use speakers, you're going to use recorders. In mathematics, when you're doing robots, you'll be able to use a lot of math to do robotics and logic. You'll be able to use physics to ground your robotics work, which you're going to blend with mathematics, of course. You'll use ICT to type and make research. So indeed, you use a lot of integrative knowledge from all the subjects that we learn. All those are aligned with the new curriculum that we are working. Recently, when the PL results were out, we were told that the fours were so much limited because children failed SST. And why? Because they didn't take care of some of the curriculum demands. And so if we are to work out well and see learners bringing out projects that can help us solve the day-to-day problems, we must work the new curriculum. And therefore, if we must work with the new curriculum, we must align ourselves there, where we shall not avoid using ICT. And if at all we use ICT, like we are ICT teachers, we are not going to avoid other subjects. So in that, we shall be able to solve our problems. And therefore, we shall find that we shall be able to know how far we are walking by peer learning, and which the works that we are doing, we are going to exhibit them, for example, at science fairs. For us, under SESEMAT, Uganda is divided into 16 regions, where each region has the duty of carrying out a science fair in second term, where we see learners exhibiting their works from school and from their home communities, which leads them to a national competition of science fair. And the winners out there, they go out and represent Uganda. In our schools, such exhibitions have been done, and learners have been able to bring out the best of what they can. We shall find that we shall be raising our flags high as individuals. When a learner in your school does something very good, you find that you as a teacher will be praised even when you just facilitated that learner. Maybe the learner has won to move out. Last year in my school, a student represented us in Malaysia, and one of the teachers was there to escort the child to Malaysia. Now I'm working hard this time that I get one so that I can escort them also outside Africa. So I'll be raising my profile, I'll be raising the school's profile, but in that we shall be fostering innovation, And we shall be preparing such a younger learners, such a young innovators for future careers. Once a learner has done something that has helped him to break through, I'm telling you, such a learner will not leave that exhibition at that level. They will wish to take it up to university and higher institutions. We shall have learners who are empowered to solve problems by looking at the sustainable development goals that we have in our country and the world at large. We shall be able to solve such problems through these small things that we are looking at by using ICT and other knowledge from other subjects to create robots, to make apps, to create sites like we learned on day one, where we looked at Google sites, we looked at blogs, we looked at WordPress. I think today we shall also go a little bit into one of these. And by that, we shall be really seeing that we are putting the content we are learning into application. And to go specific now, we are just reminding ourselves about these things because we looked at them before. Some of us know, like Javira exhibited before us before we started this training of today. He showed us what he has done by using some of these ICT tools. Someone, Henry from Iganga, yesterday's training, he exhibited to us how he's using tools that he has created using AI to do finance, to manage finance in their school, but also to manage administration in their school. And so others are also doing. So it's like we have to just keep giving ourselves a refresher course. For example, like multimedia. If I bring out a product under multimedia, what am I focusing at? I'm focusing at creating visual storytelling, creating posters, creating videos that are going to be disseminating a message. And in that case, what am I going to be using? I'm going to be using key tools like Canva, key tools like CapCut. This CapCut, many of you who use TikTok these days, you create a small video of 1 to 2 minutes, which you think when your fan base watches, they'll be able to appreciate you by giving you likes or by giving you comments. Obviously, those comments are their opinions. You cannot object them. So CapCut is common. We are using it on TikTok. So why can't we employ it and use it to create videos that are going to enhance our teaching and learning, but also help us with project work in our clubs? OBS, then PowerPoint. PowerPoint, we can use it to enhance our like right now, I'm using it to make my presentation. It's getting clear. After my presentation, you'll be able to get it. I'll be able to share it, and then you'll be able to get it. The content will be there for life. And if you're using it to enhance project work, as long as come out of that school and go, others are coming. So you just need to keep improving. And in that case, what skills are you developing in the learners, and even you yourself improving? You are being creative, you're improving on your communication skills, but as you're there, since you are a team, you are not an individual, you are seeing how people are being empathetic, how people are caring for one another, how people are bringing out teamwork, how people are sharing and caring, how people are helping one another. Sometimes they may not have a tool, but through sharing, I can be able to get it. That's multimedia. What about robotics? These days, these young minds have come up. They are so much interested in robotics. And what are they looking at? They are trying to build models which are interactive. For example, many of them have built like caterpillars. Do we call them caterpillars? These ones which make roads. They have created models that have helped in building storied buildings, skyscrapers. They have built, they have made models that can be used to construct a bridge over a river or over a small lake. So you find that such prototypes, they can be depended on to build higher complex machinery. And therefore, they are making them, they are borrowing key tools like Microbit, Arduino, and make code and many others, as people can continuously share with us and teach us about what they are using there in their communities. And by doing that, we are prototyping and hence building models that are going to help solve problems in the future. We are making apps. Those applications are solutions, and therefore, when we make them, they are going to make our work, the everyday engagements, the way how we interact with ICT tools on top of the apps to be very, very, very easy. A variety of them to mention, but a few like Meet, App Venture, Scratch, and Thinkable. And therefore, what are we doing? We are exploring ourselves in using computational skills, which we are going to obviously go along with creativity and analysis. Then when you talk about websites, the moment you go on internet, you're going to make research. The content that you're researching is anchored on a search engine or on a website whose content was created by someone else. Me, when I was growing up, I used to think that internet is maybe a natural thing. I don't know. But of late, as an ICT expert, I have known that content is created by my neighbor. That's how I can put it. My neighbor is the one who is creating that content. As long as he's creating it with that truthfulness in him, with the God-fearing in him, and knowing that what he is putting out to the world is not for killing them, but rather for making them. And therefore, from those sites, we shall be informed, we shall be able to interact. And we are using, like, for example, from our teaching right from the time we started, we've been saying, let us learn how to create websites by using simple tools like Google Sites, like WordPress, and others. And therefore, we shall be improving on our designing skills, digital use. We shall be designing for others, and therefore we shall be inclusive. We shall kind of feel included, and people, when they read what we have, they'll feel included. Javira and others like Mr. Angoda from Lira, who are already there creating content, they have a lot of content on their sites and on their blogs. I think they are really making us feel happy. And I think when we read the content in there and we'll be able to use it, they feel applauded and they feel so happy. Members, as we create this content, some people always say, how am I benefiting? I'm telling you, when you do something with one heart, God will always pay you handily, richly. As people gain, the reward will always come back. At this moment, I'd like to call Mr. Emerald. Maybe there is someone who can come and showcase to us how they have used Google Sites or WordPress. So that we can get a little bit of reminding ourselves, but also learn a little bit more. Someone on the call. Hello. Mr. Emerald, and get someone, I don't know whether there is anyone.
Yeah, I'm trying to look out for someone. Members, you can still put your hand up. And then, meanwhile, also, we are closely monitoring the chat.
Hello, anyone there? All right, then maybe at this point I can call upon Mr. Mukalere Rogers if he's there. Maybe he can share with us some of the work that was done as assignment day one by some learners, because after day one we were given an assignment. Is there something that we can share from there, Mr. Mukalere Rogers?
Thank you, Madam Nakayinda. Yeah, so maybe what I'm going to do, because I'm seeing time is also moving, let me first come in and I showcase some of these tools and share with the people, because they have given a highlight and some people are saying, how do we use these things? So let me try to share. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay, so there are very many tools that can be, we are looking at how they can be integrated in. So let me first start with showing this school. This school is Gayaza High, and they have a website, a YouTube, which we looked at in this training, that each teacher, each school should have a website, a YouTube. So when you go their website and search the word app, you will see videos by learners who are showcasing apps that they have done. These apps are from different subjects. I can see this one, Agricon. It is in agriculture. I can see I can see ICRU, I can see these are apps from different places. If I can open one, this one in here is the, I'm seeing, so I see geography, I see ICT, I see sciences, I see all these things. Now, what are they doing? They are having a project of geography, but they have used the ICT to make the app. And they are able to present their app and they show how it is working, okay? So the content in the app is not ICT. The content in the app is subject content, but they have used the ICT to come up with that kind of app. So I'm really seeing, I'm seeing that. Now, there are many other schools that are using different tools. I may not go in there, but let me just highlight a few of these tools. For example, before I go here, I have an example I want to bring out. So I don't know that you are seeing this other syllabus. I have this syllabus book.
Enlarge it.
Let me see. I have a syllabus book that I have screenshotted here. It is a syllabus book for CRE. Okay? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is CRE term 1, and there's a competency here. A learner understands worship, how it is derived from the holy books, and can relate different forms of worship. Now, many, as you know, project work, after learners have covered these topics, they are supposed to do projects in all subjects. And some of these subjects, like the humanities, they have always been wondering, which project can now we do? Can we tell learners to go and start praying? And so they have been having this challenge, and yet technology can help them come up with projects. So I've come, yesterday we looked at learning using AI. So I've come here and I've uploaded that syllabus book. I've uploaded the syllabus book and I've asked you to give me ideas of projects. Give me projects and their problem statement and use technology tools in there. So it has given me the following. It has given me, for example, a multimedia, and it's giving me a project title saying Worship Through the Ages documentary. And this is having CRE history arts, and students will use, the problem is students are seeing worship as old-fashioned, and learners are going to use CapCut that Madam Anifa talked about to publish a 5 7-minute documentary interviews, animated psalms about modern worship. So, and they share on the school YouTube. So this is a CRE project. They are using the knowledge they've learned in worship, and they are able to use CapCut, which is a free tool that anyone can download. So CapCut is, I personally have it here, and teachers can download it. We covered it in the first phase of the training. So with this CapCut, they can record clips, they edit them, and they put them on their channel, and they're addressing that. And then they have they do teamwork, they collaborate, and they have that as a product. So you see that. Then I'm seeing others. I'm seeing Canva somewhere. These ones are multimedia, the first ones. Then apps, robotics. How can I integrate robotics in CRE? Because you are looking at EDTECH integration in cross-subject. So I can do a robot, which is called the interactive prayer altar, using microbit. The microbit lights up and plays a recorded scripture when a button is pressed, and sensors detect hand movement. So what am I solving? Prayer feels passive. Learners forget to pray daily. So this robot can be able to remind them to pray. So I can be able to use robotics in CRE. So some people think that STEM is supposed to be only about sciences. We are saying STEM is in physics, in chemistry, everywhere, and even in humanities, STEM is there. So all these are examples of robotics that we can be able to do, and we can be able to come up and integrate them in CRE. So you find that learners are having their CRE project, but it's a robot. So because they have integrated their physics knowledge. Now, how do you microbit? Microbit is free. You can go online and search and create a new project and give it and say prayer altar, and then you can be able to create it, and then you code. You can see these ones are codes which are here. Very simple to use by learners. Learners can be able to code these buttons, and then they can come and program it, and then they get the hardware component, and it can do what they need. So a robotics microbit is there. There is Arduino. There are many other tools you can use. Now let us look at websites, web projects. So here are examples. Here they are saying Ugandan Christian Worship Heritage Site. Okay, learners can come up with a website. We are looking at only the topic worship, and we are looking at how can we do a multimedia project, how can we do a robotics project, how can we do all these kind of projects. So in line with the competence that we are having in the syllabus is telling us the learner should understand worship, how it is derived from the holy books, and can relate. So in line with that competence, so people who normally ask, which project can I do? Just look at the competence in any topic. Out of that competence, you can come up with a project idea, and you can be able to utilize technology to come up. So with this one, for example, creating an online repository on worship, or you can come up with, learners can come up with different things. For example, I want hymns to be published so that my people can be able to be worshiping using those hymns. I'll use a tool called WordPress. WordPress is a free tool which we talked about here. I've logged into a WordPress site which is empty. So with this WordPress, it is a free software which is available online. You can be able to download it, and you can be able to have free. You can be able to get situations where you can be able to host it free. Yeah, but even if it is for buying, it is like you can buy a domain and hosting like at 100,000, and then all your learners can have their WordPress sites there. So what do? I just come here, I go to themes, and I search for a theme in line with worship or whatever. Okay, so let me search for worship. So when I get a theme, I can get some theme, and then after that I apply it, and then I tell my learners to create the various hymns and whatever they have been creating, and then they post them. They post them on the site. So I activate my theme. So when I activate my theme, I'll be able to see my website. I think the website is it is going to load. So I should be able to see my website, how it looks now. With this WordPress, the themes are very many. So if you want a theme which is very, very good, you select what you call block themes. Block themes. Yeah, so let me try to get a block theme from instead. Let me see. Let me just choose any theme because of time. Let me just install this. Yeah, so once you activate your theme, you can be able to go ahead and design it, because it is drag and drop, and learners can come up with very good projects. Now, because I know the time we are having here may not be too much, I'm not going to really take a lot of time, but the steps for working on like a site, that is if you want to do a WordPress, we have been looking at Google Sites. Okay, so I have this now. I've activated. Let me see. Yeah, this is how it's looking like. Now I can now go ahead and I start editing. Okay, I click on edit site. I remove these things. I put my own information, and I can blog. I can do all the other things that I want. Now you can be able to edit your site and do whatever you may need. Now the content can be removed, and you get the content in line with what you want. So let me just say a heart of worship. Okay, so I change the photos. Now, what will you do as a teacher? For you will supervise the learners, guide them so that they look for relevant photos, relevant information. They come in there and then they edit. So if you visit this website which I'm on is called site.ug. If you visit it right now, you'll see how it is looking. It is having the word a heart of worship, and that is how it's looking like. So if you give learners time to play with it, you will see within 1 week, they will be able to come up with a worship site, and they'll be able to post their content. They will have creating posts, creating pages, and they'll be able to have their project there. So yeah, so that is something that you can be able to do. Now, let me finalize by, so here there are many tools: WordPress, Google Sites, and any other. So I'm going to just end there. I just wanted to do a round trip to show people that the tools are available. There is another one here called Scratch. Scratch can be used for coding. You can be able to create, and then learners can come up with a project where they're applying their mathematics. They're applying, so I'm already in the editor. I can be able to go to variables. I put them there. I put my logic. I apply my mathematics, my physics, and I create a program which people can be able to utilize. So yeah, so basically that is what I wanted to share, Madam Anifa, to give like an idea, integrating what we learned yesterday and also showing teachers that you can get ideas for any subject and be able to get your learners to come up with projects. Okay, thank you very much. Let me first hand over back to you and then you proceed.
Wow, members, go into your chat box and send flowers and all the love things from Kalere. I think he has given us a push. He has really shown us exactly what we are supposed to do. Members, remember that when we come here, we are trying to enlighten ourselves upon what we are supposed to do. But in case we need more, then we consult. After all, now, like we gather here on the call, we are family. So you get our contacts. You can always give me a call, and then I help you with what we think can do. So he has actually made my session now very light because the things that we wanted to hint in, actually he has shown them to us. He has told us about how we can create graphics and videos by using simple tools like we have here, this MS Paint. People just see it as an app sitting there on your laptops, and they have never explored how they can use Paint to really come up with something interesting. Obviously, you cannot use it as a standalone, but you can integrate others. Now, when you come to video editing, we have talked about CapCut, which is very common with us, but others can also be familiar with others. We can make animations, we can make presentations, we can think about the hardware that we really need in order to come up with certain graphics and videos. Smartphones are here. Let us make these smartphones to be used beyond taking selfies, making calls, and waiting for messages of mobile money and salary payments, but go to upgrade ourselves and make them better tools for us before us. And in that, we shall be improving ourselves. He has talked about robotics and STEM, but now for us, we want to call it STEAM so that we bring the arts and humanities on board. We have said that we don't need so much as long as you have your laptop or your tablet or your phone. Then what you do, you go and look out for those softwares. You may not have so much knowledge about how a certain software works, but we have said that through research on the internet, through you going to YouTube and try to inquire about how a certain software works, then you can be able to upgrade yourself, obviously, plus the people are already in the field and they have said that they have already used such. In that, we shall be helping learners make projects, robots that can be used to really mimic very many complex machines or small machines that can help us to do away with a certain problem in our community. Then coding and app development. Remember, we said that a product may be an app that has been created so that can help us solve a problem. I'm so much enlightened and delighted to know that coding is loved as low as primary. You find that now coding, even after in P1, you find that in some schools, learners have been taken for coding classes. And if you need to code, then you have to involve yourself by looking at such apps that we need. Obviously, laptops and desktops and tablets and our smartphones will be key. You only need to be versatile and be creative enough and know how you can explore some of these tools so that you can be able to do them. Then creating websites, he has just shown us how we can use WordPress. Mkalere has just expressed to us how we can use WordPress to come up with a website. Then one, we looked at using the Google Sites to come up with a website. Then one, we still looked at how we can create a blog. A blog, you'll be able to create content which others will keep looking at and maybe posting their feedback. When we talk about creating content, you don't need to write too much. Just write as little as you have, so that when you give it out there and people, when you publish it and people find it, then they can help you build up. And that's how we can make our art, we can build a scale. Then he has gone into the sites of Gayaga High School. He has he has shown us a variety of videos, a variety of things that they have done under different subjects, and therefore they have posted for us to watch and learn from them and copy from them. And so on our school class, those are some of the things that we are seeing over there. So while we go,
Madam Nakainda.
Yes, Rogers.
Maybe on that last slide, maybe you can just give me again some more 3 minutes.
Please.
And I talked about the Gayaza, but I never showed that tool of MIT App Inventor. It is very important as well. So let me try to share about that as then I can come back and finish. So there is this app. This is the app which I seeing my screen.
Yes, please.
So all these projects Gaza children are doing for different subjects, for different in using apps, they are using this tool. It's called MIT App Inventor. And when you realize the teachers who are supporting them, they are not even ICT teachers. Personally, I know some teachers who are teachers of physics, of what, but when they are the ones supporting these learners to do these apps. So when you go, if you want, next time you are thinking of project ideas for your club, for SESEMAT competition, or for even for UNEB, you can think of a tool like MIT App Inventor, okay? So you search for it. It is made to be, so when you click there, you click here where there is create apps, and then it will take you into the dashboard here. Then you can just go ahead and say, okay, I want to continue, and you'll be there in the interface. It's as simple as that. Now, you start dragging your things. You can create screens. We have this screen one, and you can create other screens. So I can say, I want to put a button on my screen. I want to put whichever things I need. So you can put text. You can design your app the way you want it to be. You can put text box, and then you change the content. So it has on the side, we get the graphical user interface elements. On the right, this side, you can be able to change the behavior and change the text, whatever text. So I can come and say here, this is the digital pedagogy, okay? So I can be able to put, you see that digital pedagogy has come. It is not rocket science to do an app. It is something as simple as that. Now, MIT has also the back end, which is the blocks side, where we have a designer side and a blocks side. The blocks side is where you program, where you come here, you see there is mathematics, there is logic, there is what. So you can be able to program the button that once they click on the button, do this. Once they do this, do this. So these apps that you are seeing here, that learners have done, now this is the Kodiaks, whatever. They are using MIT App Inventor, and they are able to do apps which are winning in exhibitions, are winning in UCC, are winning where. So they do these apps, and then you see that they put in content, and these apps they are getting content from the subjects they are learning, and then they think of a problem. And yesterday we said you can use AI to help you in brainstorming project ideas. So you should be able to get your learners so that they can do better projects. And maybe the other thing that I wanted to share is for those who want to learn, we are having an event for websites. There's this event which we talked about called WordCamp Mukono. It is happening next month. And I will be among the speakers. It is happening. I'm one of the speakers here. So we are going to be learning WordPress. There's going to be a hands-on workshop from coding to CMS. And everyone who comes will go away and at least they have learned something. They'll be able to go back and support their children to do better projects or to do websites for their own. Yeah, so there is some dedicated time on for WordCamp. Please, those who can, you can come. It is, I think, next, it is in March. Yeah, it is in March 13th. And it's only 30,000 shillings to attend. And there's a lot of benefits for 2 days. Yeah, so that 30,000 is just for your t-shirt, but the event itself is sponsored already. Yeah, so please, if you want to learn, there's going to be a complete workshop next week. But there we also, as ETN, we shall be doing EDTECH exchange sessions. So we shall get a day and schedule WordPress and we go to it. A day we look at MIT. We shall get a day we look at Microbit. We get a day we look at Scratch. We get a day we look at various digital tools and how they can support us to support learners to do project work, which can help them in their academics and also in their clubs. Okay, thank you very much. Madam, let me hand over back to you.
Wow, flowers for Rogers. What an interesting presentation that is giving us hope for the future. I can't wait to be part of that event in Mukono. And members, it's high time that we came out of thinking that the school should sponsor us to go for such, but rather a 21st century teacher, you should learn how to invest in yourself. We know that sustainability and funds can be a problem, but once in a while, put in that little money so that you make yourself a better person to become a happy teacher. So when we are designing such activities in our clubs, what are things that we are supposed to go into? We should look at the type of activities that we shall engage in. Obviously, we are not going to sit and look on. We shall have to do experiments ourselves. We shall have to put up challenges or find problems that we are going to test with our hands-on experiments. You are not going to do those things while you are just at school sitting, but you will need to move and explore places, visit labs, both the physical, you go in an environment and learn about what they do. For example, you can come at Ginger College, at the Nile Spark Innovation Hub and see what people are doing. When you hear that there is an event at Innovation Village, please go there. When you hear about what is taking place at UCC, please go there. When you hear about like the Word Camp in Mukono, get there and see what is there. By doing that, you're making field trips, you're visiting out places, you're going to companies to learn more and therefore make yourself experienced and see how you can make yourself better. Listen to sessions of guest speakers. Like for example, every Wednesday when we have our ATN sessions where we're going to look at a certain thing or a theme about something, please be there, indulge yourself. Please go ahead and look at the different levels of people who can build your capacity. You can interact with learners in primary, learners in secondary, look at people who are already working and see how they are really using ICT to develop their clubs in their schools. Once you become a prominent person in your club and you become famous, I'm telling you, they'll never think about laying you off, even if they thought about it, but they will know how you're helping them in project work under your club, and therefore you remain relevant. Encourage learners to take up these initiatives because they are in school, and that's why they are at school. They are there to learn. Encourage girls, my dear girls. Me, I'm a woman. I've gotten very many opportunities because I'm a woman. So when you come up and participate in these things, you upgrade your skills, then chances are there for you. You don't have to sit back and wait. We have to involve ourselves in very many things. And like Mr. Rogers was saying, you can visit sites of other schools. You can go to YouTube and search for them, and therefore you can be able to learn about what they have done. Right here on our screen, we are seeing just Gayaza, like Mr. Mokalere was trying to show us. You are seeing Toro Girls. You'll go there and find very many others. Even Junior College, where I teach, we have tried to upgrade content there. So you'll go there and try to visit and see what we do. Involve yourself in a number of things that can take you milestones so that you come out of that local area of yours, but rather go ahead. Wherever there is a chance for you to participate, for example, in a hackathon, or an organization has put up a competition, like for example, UCC already sponsors in a year, and then you find that students are called upon to present at Innovation Village. Is it Innovation Village at Nakawa, which is the head of innovations. Then ups to the Uganda Professional Science Teachers Union has full headquarters where they have put a section under the education sector. I don't know whether I'm drawing into an agenda which I'm not supposed to unveil, but last year and the other year, I think, UPS to called for students from various schools to present project work, which was analyzed, and we found the students really got very many good things. They got exposure. Certain companies like MTN and Airtel, they got interested in what these learners were doing, and some of them have got chances to carry on. And so by doing that, you find that you're not only excelling in that subject speciality, but we're also upskilling you in other generic skills. You find yourself a perfect person that is going to compete well, is going to compete well with others. For example, tomorrow when you become a member of parliament, presenting at a floor will not be a problem to you. Maybe speaking at parade will not be a problem to you. In that case, you'll be building your confidence. And if I am a teacher who has escorted a learner, by me presenting that child and seeing how things are done, or you fly once in an airplane, or the head teacher sends you somewhere, in that case, you'll be going as a big man. You'll be building yourself, and therefore you'll be coming out. So there are very many chances that we can get once we jump out of our skin, and therefore we do good. And therefore there are a variety of benefits. We had already talked about these things when we were unveiling our discussion today. Self-esteem, profile build-up, high academic performance. It enables you to integrate a variety of disciplines. You get lots of opportunities, including international programs, and therefore you find yourself being versatile and fitting well in the present day world. And therefore, what are some of those resources that you need in order to make your club back at school be able to start if it had not started, or be able to thrive if at all it was limping? You need a lab. You need a science room where you're going to keep, as a home where you're going to be gathering your resources and keeping them. You can't just keep them anywhere. Remember, as teachers, most of the time we spend it at school with our learners. So we need to get a special place where you can keep our works and be able to interact with them at close range. You need a tablet or a smartphone, which has a camera that can take videos, which you're going to use as clips in whatever you're doing. Can take for you photos that obviously you can embed in your work, and therefore be able to come up with very good content. You need Wi-Fi. These days, people say the school has not given me internet connectivity, but imagine they can get a mobile data to connect, to go to what? TikTok, and enjoy other people's content. Or if I told that person that pay 2,000, get a GB of mobile data so that you can create a simple video, it will be for your own benefit. Once it goes out there on the internet and people like it, they'll give you a device, and then you see how you're going to make yourself happy. Extra resources and then you need to have time. You need to create time. Remember, you've been given a job because you're a teacher, but now you're creating this out of curiosity, out of love, out of positive attitude, so that you can make yourself better. So you need to make your timetable and see how well you're going to give time to these learners so that you can help them as you also help yourself. Clubs, if they have to really work, they must be kept in the process of doing. Let them not sleep. A club that sleeps and remembers to only wake up when they are going to have a club handover, they will not even have anything to showcase at the club handover. It needs to be moving, so you need time. Then you also have to convince the administration, because there are times when you need resources that are not within your reach. So if the club is moving, then the school will be encouraged to get out of their budget. After all, when they are making those budgets, I think there is something under clubs. And so once your club is active, they will always be handy. Then you can also get external support from experts or any resource persons that can come and give an extra hand, or even learners. They like hearing from someone who is from out. And if they hear from that person, then they will affirm what you have been telling them. At this time, members, I'd like that we go into an assignment. So this assignment is going to be a very simple task, just to reflect on what we have just discussed, and maybe what we shall discuss with others out of this room. So you're going to choose an EDTECH product out of these many that we have talked about, either using websites or multimedia or any, integrate it in your club project work in science or art subject areas, and then be able to form a product by going through that process of planning, by going through that process of implementation, report writing, and then dissemination. And then we see how really we can be able to integrate ICT, at least to do these basics identify a problem and therefore get a problem title, get a subject integration, get a problem solution, and be able to use ICT in that. And then you'll be able to showcase all this through a blog. And when you post this in our Google Classroom, we shall be able to see it, and we shall be able to share and comment and improve. I believe by doing that, we shall be able to have reflected so much on what we have discussed today under the STEAM Clubs project. I hope that is well, but the discussion continues in here and out there. Thank you for coming to the call. Thank you for sparing your time. Thank you for listening to us. We are interacting more and more until the cows come back home. I remain Nakainda Hanifa, and I'm still on the call. Over to you, Emily.
All right. Thank you so much, Madam Hanifa. Members, join me and we hit our reaction buttons, and we really appreciate Madam Hanifa for that comprehensive highlight of today's session. Yeah, I'm sure she has spoken a lot and she has really guided us. And we are really now well informed and we are ready to engage into project work. As well as interacting with our colleagues in different subjects, while also integrating the use of ICT. So at this very particular juncture, members, I want to open the floor in case you have a question, because I can see hands are hanging up in the sky. I want to open the floor, and then you might be having a question or a concern or something you want to be highlighted upon. You can use the few remaining minutes to interact. So I see a hand. You're just going to raise your hand up, and then we shall be in position to give you a chance. Yes, we are beginning with Mr. Kakuru Javira. Go ahead, unmute and share your concern.
Thank you so much. My concern is going to Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers, I hope you are there. Mr. Rogers
is around. Just go ahead
okay, that's
share
fine.
your concern.
Okay, I'm trying to share my screen. I hope my screen can be seen. Mr. Rogers, I had already created my WordPress as far as 2020. I think I remember I created this during COVID-19, no, 2021, because I think it was around during COVID-19 lockdown. And of course, I had put a few blogs, then later I relaxed and so on. So my first question is, can I be able to modify this very website which I created at that time to something very new? Because ideally, yes, I am able to log in, but I've not been really interacting with it. I think if you can look at my statistics here, I've not been interacting with it. And if I can put there here to maybe 2021, it's when you can see that something can come up. So I used it 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024 with about 75 visitors. So can I be able to upgrade this into what we are talking about? That's number one. Number two, when it comes to my website, for example, when I go back to home here, is there a way that I can make these photos which I have put here where you can see for them to be able to scroll by themselves without me clicking? Maybe after a certain interval, maybe 2 seconds or 3 seconds, they are able to scroll themselves like that. That's also one thing I was asking about. Then when I come to the resource center, is it ideally okay if I can create, for example, of course, I've put the Colibri offline learning, the Eon XR library, which I've created some few things there, plus. So, is it okay for me, for example, if I had the ideally wanted to put, for example, the 360 onto this page or the Coribri without somebody, first of all, clicking on the link to go to the Coribri app? Is there a possibility? Though, then is there a way I can condense these other resources? Like now I have put the ICT Club handbook. Here I have put the accelerated education program chemistry syllabus for level 1 and level 2, and all of these the scheme of work, the lesson plan. Is there a way I can put somewhere a link that connects to them, and just a person clicks on them and is able to look at them? Otherwise, thank you so much. So far, so good. I remain Kakuru Javira, the Deputy Head Teacher at Sid Secondary School in Biratuku District, Karamoja, and also passionate about ICT
So let's wait
and
for
many
this
other
group,
things
but
that is ICT. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Javira, for already you are putting us in the mood for showcase. And please, we are still working on the other Friday next week. We shall be having the grand showcase. Now, I want you to, you asked many things, and there is an answer for each. But I'm going to be very brief because of time. Yeah, so what you are going to do, I'm going to request you to the last question that you asked about embedding in your Google site, and you don't want, maybe you could share again, and I just show you only that practically. Then others, I just tell you what you'll do. So you don't want to, when you embed these resources, they are appearing, they are just embedded and there are too many. So if you want a resource library with 100 documents, you first go to your resource center. So you find that there are many things, and it may be difficult for all of them to be opening there. So you want a button. So what you do, you will go in edit mode of this page, and you'll, instead of embedding it, you'll add there a button. Then on those buttons, so you can put something like, you can find a way of putting a layout.
Mr. Rogers, of course, what you see here, for example, when I go to resources, I hope I'm on resources or yes.
Resource center.
Okay. Now, when you go here, this is, of course, a button. This is a button. This is a button. This is a button.
Yeah. So those are buttons. Now, do you know how to hyperlink them?
That's why I had a challenge, because
Yeah. So what happens now?
First a minute a bit. Now, when you see this is the published one, right? So if I click on the Colibri here,
it takes you to the Colibri.
It takes me to the Colibri.
Yeah.
So my challenge, I think, was on hyperlinking after putting the button and so on.
Yeah, it's okay. So when you're in edit mode, when you put a button, you should be able to see options for applying a hyperlink on it. So if I click on one of those buttons when you're in edit mode, like the Colibri offline.
This one?
Yes. So when you click on it, are you seeing where the pencil is?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you click on that pencil, you should be able to have where you'll put the link, the way you did. So
Okay.
now instead of embedding, because there's embedding and also, but you can just take time and structure. But I want to also tell you that Google Sites and even the other blog of yours, now I'm answering the other question you asked about the blog. The blog that you first go now to the blog, the final blog, the blog that you created in WordPress, that blog is free, and that's why many years down the road, it is still there. They have never asked you for money. You see the posts and pages you created, they are there
Yes.
and everything. But this blog, which is free, has some limitations. There are some things you may not be able to put. For example, the slider that you wanted in Google Sites. Google Sites is also limited. So if you want your learners to do very good projects beyond the basic blogs and whatever, so that one may require you to get what you call a hosted version. So this one, which is free, is normally good to start with, but some features, like if you want to put extended plugins to do more, like to do more features, which are really going to help your learners to showcase beautiful projects which are going to win, you may need to get a hosted version. So I want to share with the members here, members who are on this call. I want to share with you an opportunity that we are having here. So let me just share with you. So as part of this training and to also guide the members that as we prepare, because today is our last main session. So what you are going to do is, so I'm going to share with you this. So are you seeing my screen?
Yes, but it is still coming up.
You're seeing the
Okay,
schedule,
it
isn't
is
it?
on now. It is on now.
Okay. Now, so today we are looking at innovative EDTECH through clear projects and cross-subject integration, and we have looked at these tools. And we are left with one extra session on Wednesday next week, and the final session, which is going to be on Friday, which will be for showcase. Yeah, so that is what we are doing. Now, I want to share with members, we are going to share a link. In case you are interested, we have what you call, there's a form I'm going to share, the link. You can take note of it, web hosting request. So this link, those who want to have like the other projects of coding and these other projects, and you want to put them online, so we are going to offer a free account, especially those who are even going to come for WordCamp Mukono. So you can be able to fill in this. We are going to give you a free account so that you can be able to have your projects to do much more on the site, on the web projects. Yeah. So you'll have your WordPress installed, and then you'll be able to have much more done, which is not having limitations. Now, the free tools we have shared, they are good, and they can be able to do something to start with. But when you are scaling up, there could be other features that will be requested to integrate, and so you will need to have that. So what happens? You'll just fill in the form. I'm going to share it in the chat. You just fill in the form, and those who fill in the form, I will send you an email. We shall organize another session. Just look at how to upload your projects online. So you just submit your details. We shall give you a free hosting account for practice purposes for a full year. Yeah, so for a full year, just fill in, and we shall be able to share with you. So that other project, Mr. Kakuru, of the blog is just a blog. If you want more features, advanced features, you need a hosting account. Yeah, so basically that is what I wanted to share in that line, and also to remind members that today we are wrapping up, and please continue. The assignments are being posted on the classroom. Try to do something and submit your link either to the blog. If you did a scheme of work yesterday, blog about it. Hyperlink it like the Mr. Javira was showing. To hyperlink, you can put your scheme on Google Drive and you can hyperlink, or you can be able to just embed it on the site the way Mr. Javira has done. So we can be able to see everything you've been doing. Now, for this last assignment, we just want you to come up with a project plan in your subject. Say that, okay, for me, I'm a teacher of entrepreneurship. And learners are going to come up with, according to my subject, learners cover this topic. We have come up with this particular problem statement, and it is in entrepreneurship, but ICT is helping in this way. ICT is integrated in this way. So you come up with a complete with a problem statement with the way the assignment is listed. So yeah, if you have a prototype, you will share with us. If not, just the plan, then you write about it. So at the end of the day, you are going to be a different teacher next term. You will be having very good innovative project ideas, and your learners will be able to be supported. Okay, let me hand over back. I hope, Mr. Kakuru, I try to answer some of your questions. The blog,
I'm satisfied. I'm very satisfied.
Yeah, the hosting,
I have a
we are offering,
government stomach now.
we are offering free hosting account like the one I was having to everyone who has been part of the training. Please just fill in that free of charge. You'll be able to have that, and you can utilize it to push your projects ahead. Thank you very much. Mr. Amarut, over to you.
Thank you very much, Rogers, for that segment. And Mr. Kakuru, also, thank you very much for that work well done. Still, I continue to challenge the rest of the members. Let us do something like the way the facilitators have been emphasizing. Let us do something such that come next week on Friday, we can all confidently connect and showcase the yields or the fruits of this particular digital pedagogy training phase 2. So you are going to have a full week where you are going to practice and then also accomplish all the remaining activities that you might have not completed. Then come Friday next week, we shall be showcasing. However, a humble reminder, before Friday, we shall be having another session, another extra session, where we shall be sharing as EDTECH Teachers Network, we shall be sharing more about the EdTech access planning. We shall share tips on how to acquire devices and also how to maintain them. So I encourage you members, you can also connect on Wednesday before we conclude everything on Friday. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your resources. Thank you for all the efforts that you've put in to make sure that you attend and then also participate actively through these particular sessions. We want to appreciate the sponsors, that is UNICEF and then Airtel Uganda, for giving us this opportunity to share through these sessions that we have shared in this particular phase of the digital pedagogy training. I also want to extend great appreciation to all our facilitators. Some of them have been connecting and have been supporting in the chat. Some have called you, some have interacted you, some have supported you through the Google Classroom. And just know, EdTech Teachers Network has got a big team of very able individuals who are ready and passionate to push EdTech to the education sector and to the education ecosystem. So members, without wasting time, I want to just request one member to give us a closing prayer, and then we say bye-bye for today. So any member wants to bless our session? Any volunteer?
Let's humble ourselves and we pray.
Okay.
Mighty Lord,
thank you so much.
This is
Madam
Hanifa
Nakainda.
Nakainda, a teacher from Junior College. Please feel free to consult me whenever you are. Remember, I told you that we have Nile Spark Innovation Hub. So in case you have an event that you want to do, you can come to Junior College where Nile Spark Innovation Hub is, and then you can get you sorted. Let's humble ourselves and pray. Mighty Father, we thank you for the time that we have been here. We thank you for all the beautiful deliberations we have had. We thank you for all the reflections. We ask you to encourage us in our hearts. We ask you to enable us with resources that are going to make us implement what we have learned so that we can see ourselves better persons that can match well with the 21st century skills and the SDGs as demanded of us as teachers who are taking our nation to the next generation. Want to thank you for our moderator. Want to thank you for our facilitators. We want to thank you for all the people who have been on call. Regenerate them and feel for them for their time that they have spent here, for their resources that they have spent, and make them able to make use of all that we have learned in this session. To you, dear Lord, we have prayed. Amen.
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 Amen, amen, amen. Thank you so much, members. See you on Wednesday with the EdTech Exchange.